Here we go again, it's another 100% completion video. We're looking at Destroy All Humans this time. I remember playing this a bunch when I was a kid, but I never really left the first area because I just like to pick up cows and throw them around. So, yeah, this was very interesting to play, to actually see what the story was. So, yeah, let's look at all the achievements. Let's go. So we hit that new game and get involved. We see a couple of cutscenes to kind of set the scene for the game, and it's basically, you know, the US military's testing the rocket. They shoot, one of these alien boys out of the sky, Crypto 136, because we're clones apparently, and yeah, he gets captured, so we gotta go invade Earth to get our boy back. We're Crypto 137, and before we invade Earth and the invasion begins, we gotta cut that sweet promo.
We gotta crack some craniums. We gotta rescue me. Him, he's gotta rescue me. I mean, I gotta, brains, man. When do I get to blow things up?
And with that said, it's time to begin the invasion, so we begin by invading Turnip Seed Farm. That's our first location, and we get a cheeky achievement to kick us off for invading Turnip Seed Farm. Pretty nice stuff. And of course, the first things on the to-do list is to drown a cow, because why the fuck not, and kill a farmer because he threatened me with a shotgun, you know. So we gotta give him that shock therapy, give him a little sappy zappy, and he goes down. And then I got a whole mess of achievements back to back, which was pretty nice. But we started with the Swift Harvest achievement, which was to accelerate the brain extractor transmog by mashing that button like you mean it. And I definitely did. I really wanted that brain, so give me that brain because I need that DNA. And then they just started bouncing people around with the telekinesis, like off the floor and stuff. Like this guy hit the floor so hard, I felt it. And then I got the achievement when two humans collide, which is to destroy a human with another human. So that's pretty, you know, I'm pretty sure I destroyed them now. And then the last achievement that popped was Fly My Pretties, which was to throw a human into the air and juggle them. Which I'm assuming I got when I absolutely slammed that guy into the floor and then picked him up again. I guess he bounced like caught him maybe. I don't know. But, you know, we got it. It works. And then just behind the building where I just absolutely decimated some farmhands, I found a probe which got me the achievement Harvest Season, which is to pick up one of the Furon probes. Once all these achievements were collected, it was time to head back to that UFO, my flying saucer, and just decimate the farm, you know, blow it all up, because these guys are just rude really. I just came to say hello and drown your cows, but yeah, so I took the farm out, and then the military showed up, and so we took those guys out, and then made our way back to the mothership, where we got ourselves a cheeky little saucer upgrade, and got the achievement and a pox on your saucer too, which is just to buy one upgrade for your saucer in Pox's lab. So pretty nice. After this, I went through the menus and stuff, just had a little browse at what was going on the mothership, and found a skin selection option. So I had a look at that, changed my skin, and got the achievement Invasion of the Body Swappers, which is just to, you know, change your skin, which was you know, pretty easy. And then it was about time I continued with the next mission. So we were heading to Rockwell this time, so no longer in Turnip Seed Farm. And yeah, we got the achievement Rockwell Death Knell, which is to invade Rockwell. I probably mispronounced that last word, Knell. I feel like it's Knell. If that's wrong, it's probably, you know, just forget about it. It's alright. We got the achievement, okay? And so this mission introduces you to the Holobob system, which is basically like human camouflage where you can kind of roam about without being recognized as an alien. And to recharge this, you got to scan other humans to basically keep that Holobob recharged. And yeah, that got me the achievement Covert Throughts, which is to stay covert by scanning primitive human thoughts. And this guy was peeking into someone's car, which was shaken, so, you know, seems a bit of a pervert, I'm not gonna lie. But anyway, I carried on with the mission and abducted Miss Rockwell, took her to my saucer, and then it was time to destroy this whole fairground. And then I got the achievement called Rejected for Probing, which is to pick up something with the abducto beam and basically just chuck it into something and you'll get it. And then I just went to town on this fairground, destroying the Ferris wheel, destroying that big old tent, and then somehow got the achievement Man's Inhumanity to Man, which is to kill multiple humans with a human-made explosive. So I don't know how I did that, but I'm sure there was some kind of like propane tank or something down the bottom there, and it killed a few boys. Then it was back to the mothership, and we got another achievement, a pox on your gear, which is to basically an upgrade for crypto instead of the saucer this time. So yeah, that's pretty good. And then it was on to the next mission where we became the mayor and did a little press conference, you know. People are wondering what's going on. So we calmed the people down and found out about a new area called Santa Modesta. So that was pretty nice. But also this mayor guy sounds like Mayor Quindy from The Simpsons. No? Do you reckon? And then it was off to get our next achievement, which was pretty simple. Just invade Santa Modesta, and yeah, that's in the bag. And then I went off to a pool party and kind of ruined the vibe there, and got the achievement No Time to Waste. Now I'm not really sure how I got this one because I just killed that one dude with the sapper gun or whatever, but as the holobob was compromised, maybe that was the psi ability, and for some reason it popped because I was using a psi ability with the holobob and killed someone. But all that really matters is that achievement's in the bag, right? And then shortly after this, we were given the Disintegrator Ray, which was pretty good because it's a lot better than this electric sapper gun. But with this, it does have ammo, so then I was also taught how to use transmog to basically get more ammo. And then got the achievement Reduce, Abuse, Recycle, which is basically just to get some more ammo from using transmog, which is pretty good. Obtaining achievements after this one was a bit slower, so we just kind of focused on getting through all the levels and progressing through the game. But we did pick up a couple more achievements before we reached the next area. So the first achievement we picked up while completing the main story missions was an achievement called Brain Drain, which was to consume a human brain to kickstart your shield regeneration, which we actually got by using the anal probe of all things. So yeah, that was pretty cheeky. And then we got a new ability in our UFO, which was called the Repulsive. So when we used that to fend off some homing missiles, we got the achievement Simply Repulsive. And yeah, that was pretty cheeky. And then after causing a great deal of mayhem and confusion and destruction, we collected ourselves enough Furon DNA to fully upgrade one section of an upgrade tree, giving us the achievement Grade A Upgrade. Which was, yeah, as I said, to fully upgrade one of the branches of a weapon or ability. And then we carried on with the main story missions, and we had to sneak into a military base to abduct a guy called Burt Wither, who's an anchorman who's widely respected, so we can get him to talk some shit on the news, basically. And then we had to, protect that news station, because basically the army wasn't too keen about what Burt Wither was saying, so they tried to shut down the radio station, so the broadcast wasn't broadcasting anymore, so we had to protect the radio station against some tanks, some walkers, some military men and all that kind of stuff, which we did. And then we found our way to Area 42, where we got ourselves our next achievement to invade Area 42. Pretty tasty. And sadly, that was the only achievement we picked up in Area 42, but we did cause a lot of destruction, killed a bunch of guys, and blew up a lot of buildings, so it was pretty good. Oh, and we also set off a nuke, which was kind of cool. But yeah, so we did all that, and then got to our next area. We got shot out of the sky, and then we ended up in Union Town, so we got the achievement for invading Union Town, which was, yeah, that's alright. And there wasn't a great deal to do here, so yeah, as we got captured, we had to escape from captivity, run about and grab all of our equipment. So we had to grab our gun, our magazine, our jetpack, and then go find our saucer, repower that, destroy some stuff with the saucer, and then we were out of there, and we were heading to Capital City, where we got our next achievement for invading Capital City, which again, pretty nice. And while we were in Capital City, we started tailing this general dude, and we had to find a way to get to him because he's inside the Pentagon. So we had to grab a scientist, grab his disguise, head over there, sneak on in, grab a vantage point, and then eavesdrop on a little conversation he was having with someone else. And then we followed him back to Union Town, and then snuck into a meeting while disguised as another general. And then he kind of caught on and said that I had a big mouth. I revealed myself. He ran away. I killed his boys inside. And then when I left, he was stood inside a big mech. And that was a boss fight, so we had to take him down, which was pretty fun. It wasn't too bad. It's quite easy. Just shoot him and use telekinesis on the missiles he sends at you and send them straight back towards him. And then just make sure you dodge out the way of all the area of effect attacks. And yeah, you should be pretty golden. And then yeah, once you take him down, you get the cheeky achievement, which is Unilateral Disarmament, which is to destroy a certain irritating simian warlord once and for all. And then we just leave him as a big pile of dust, because, that's what you do to generals and stuff that have been pissing you off. And then we went back to Capital City to cause more mayhem, destruction, and just pure misery for all these humans. And then we took out the president, we threw him on the floor and grabbed some explosives and dropped them on his head. And yeah, that was him dealt with. And then, yeah, they tried to, re-elect a new president. All these senators were trying to get to the White House, so we had to kind of attack that and stop them from getting inside. And I ended up throwing a car straight into a senator's head from downtown and just donked him on the head. I was pretty impressed with this shot. I was quite happy with it. It did make me chuckle a fair bit, I'm not going to lie. So then we went around Capital City and destroyed all their defensive options, which were their new Tesla coils to stop my UFO. I said no to that, and then world domination awaits. And then we went to go meet Silhouette, who was going to surrender, but turns out they just had a big robot president, they put the president's brain inside a big robot machine, and we had to fight that. So that was, so this was Final Boss Part 1, and it's not too bad. It took me a couple attempts myself, but essentially with the first stage of this fight, I just kind of sat in front of him and just shot his chest, because he didn't really do a lot, and he didn't really do too much damage. The only time I felt I needed to move was when he used his laser attack. And then once he was down the first phase, I then used the cars around me to regenerate my shields, which was pretty nice. So phase 2 is a little bit more tricky because he gets access to more abilities. So one thing he has now is missiles, so you got to make sure to use the Repulsotron to deflect all these missiles, otherwise you're going to take some extra damage that might take you out. But if you do take damage, there'll be walkers underneath him that you can drain for more shields. Now, one thing I completely forgot to do that I remembered after doing this boss fight is that you can actually mash the drain button, which will give you your shields back a lot quicker. So make sure you mash the button and you don't just, you know, let it tick like I did, which was kind of dangerous because I was always quite low in shields and never really recharged properly. But yeah, make sure you mash away. Mash like you mean it. But once you take down phase 2, you then have to fly across the bridge where you'll find some trucks and stuff. So if you do need a couple more shields, then you can quickly drain those, which is pretty good. Just be careful about missiles because he will keep sending missiles at you from a distance. So phase 3 isn't too much different to phase 2. He's still using a lot of the same moves. I feel like he uses a lot more missiles and they come a lot faster. The only other thing as well is there's more walkers about which do a little bit of extra damage. So yeah, there's just more gunfire going about. So yeah, just be careful, but just keep on top of the shields and keep draining those walkers and you should be alright. And yeah, eventually you'll take him down. And then you'll get yourself that cheeky achievement, Impeached, which is to destroy the pathetic human attempt at a robot overlord. Robopress, you know? So, yeah, good job on that. And good job to me for doing it too. And then you're not quite done because Silhouette then wants to challenge you and she invites you to a dance at the Octagon. So we got to head over there and give her what for, really. Now, I personally really hated this fight, but I'm going to break this fight down so you know exactly how it goes and what to watch out for. So she always begins the fight by spraying you down as you approach, and then when you get a bit closer she starts hovering into the air, and make sure you take her down and just shoot her until she drops. Because if she gets away with like pulling off this move, she basically sends like purple missiles at you, and once they touch you they drain pretty much all of your shields. It's just a bad time from there. So yeah, whenever you see her flying up, try to take her down if you can. It's not always possible, but it's recommended if you can. Now, just to point out, it is possible to dash and evade these missiles. It's kind of hard to do, but I did manage during this fight to get the Hot to Trot achievement, which is to evade a missile by dashing. So that is possible, but this is kind of rare to do just because these rockets are homing missiles, so they will just turn around and chase you anyway. And the other thing to be mindful of is when you hear this energy wind-up noise and you start seeing these blue shield things pop up, you want to get inside one of those as fast as you can, otherwise you're going to be taking some heavy damage if you're not in one of those. Now, as far as phase 1 goes, that's pretty much all you got to be concerned about. You just got to take her down, take out any ads that show up, and also if you see any items on the floor, make sure to transmorph them into ammo, because ammo does get a bit scarce. She takes a lot of ammo to break that shield and do some damage to her. Once you've completed phase 1, she will then start to flip away over to the west side and she'll attach herself to this purple power coil thing. And the quicker you take this out, the less health she's going to have in phase 2. So this is healing her health back up. So yeah, if you take it out quick, then she's got less health, which is always nice. Now, phase 2, she's got pretty much the same moves, except for she's now got a laser, but this laser's not too much of a threat. It's a bit scary, but it turns out you can just jump over it. If you time it right, you can jump over it and just shoot her. And then, yeah, eventually you'll take her down, and then it'll be phase 3. So she'll go over to the east side this time, do the same thing with another, like, purple power coil thing. Destroy that quickly, and then yeah, we're on to phase 3 where she's got one more move where she sends out mines. So if you see the red rings on the floor, do not approach them, do not enter them. They will explode and you'll take a hefty amount of damage, which, you know, nobody wants that, right? The other thing to take note of here as well is the ads that come in. You'll start getting the mutant guys, so the guys with telekinesis and all that kind of stuff. Just quickly get rid of them with the iron detonator, so you got one less thing to worry about. One other tip that I found kind of useful was that when those energy shields pop up, if you run into the same space as Silhouette, she kind of stands there for a little bit so you can get some extra damage on her, and then she'll run off to another energy shield. She doesn't want to be in the same one as you. So yeah, that's quite handy to get a little bit of extra damage on that shield and whatnot. One thing to be cautious about as well is don't trust the health bar, because sometimes she goes to nothing, like she's dead and she's still alive and she regenerates that shield, and you've got to take out that shield one more time, which is a pain. So yeah, never take it for granted, keep close to cover so you don't, you know, ever expose yourself, because, you know, she gets that magic pixel and yeah, she doesn't want to die. I did find this to be a pretty tough fight, but eventually I did get there and got the achievement for the glory of the Furon Empire, which was to destroy humanity's last hope and initiate the subjection of the species. And that was the main story completed. All that was left was to pick up a few more remaining achievements, and then we were done. So let's get to it. The first achievement I picked up was called Furonigami. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway, which was basically to check out this menu option, and basically it's concept art. You just look at the concept art and you get the achievement, which is pretty easy. And then I began my journey going back through the missions and completing any bonus missions that I missed on my first playthrough, which got me the achievement Return of the Clone, which is basically just to revisit a mission that you've previously completed, which is, you know, that's pretty good. And as I was making my way through these missions and completing all the bonus objectives that I missed, I did pick up the achievement to abduct and drain a vehicle, which was called Gas-Guzzler, which was, you know, I can't believe I didn't pick that one up throughout the whole game, but yeah, we got it now, so that's all that matters, right? And then I finally completed all the bonus objectives that I missed and got the achievement, the mandatory option, which was pretty nice 90 gamer score there, pretty tasty. And then it was time to go for the challenge achievements, which is to basically get aces on every single challenge, which is 3 stars on the 4 challenges in each area. But before we got kickstarted with that achievement, I had to go pick up a cow and abduct that boy, because we want that achievement, as is tradition. And it is tradition for UFOs to pick up cows. Alright? So yeah, we got that one. And then it was time to start the challenges, so we began with a race challenge, made it to the end of that and only got 2 stars, which is pretty sad, but never mind that, because we did get the achievement down to the challenge, which is to revisit a missionless invasion site and complete a challenge there, so you know, we'll take that. But then we went back and got 3 stars and got the achievement Furon Faster Race, which is to get the 3 stars on the race challenge, which is good. And then we went to do a Rampage challenge, which is basically to throw around a bunch of farmers and stuff, and we got the 3 stars on this one, which got us the Rightous Rampage achievement. And then we moved on to the Armageddon challenge, where we got the 3 stars on that too, which was really easy. I mean, my best advice for these ones is don't even worry about blowing up buildings. Just pick up those target cars and drain those quickly, and they give you a massive amount of points. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, I got the Art of Armageddon, which is to get 3 stars on an Armageddon challenge. And then we finished up in Turnip Seed Farm by completing the Abduction challenge, which was pretty simple. All we had to do was grab a bunch of cows, throw them into this big beam, and then yeah, we got the 3 stars there. So we got the Champion of Abduction achievement, which was pretty nice. And due to the fact we just got 3 stars in all 4 types of challenges, we got the Jerk of All Trades achievement, which is to get 2 stars in each type of challenge, which is pretty nice. After we were done in Turnip Seed Farm, we just went to each individual area and completed the challenges there and made sure we got 3 stars on each of them. So we went to Rockwell, Santa Modesta, Area 42, Uniontown, and Capital City. And then yeah, having 3 stars on every single challenge gave us the achievement Ace of Space, which was pretty nice, 90 gamer score there, and also 0.59% of Xbox gamers have this achievement, which was pretty interesting. But what's more interesting is these last couple of achievements, so we headed over to Santa Modesta to grab 2 achievements. The first one being is the achievement Do Feed the Sharks. Basically all you gotta do is come over to this motel and you'll find a sign that says Do Not Feed the Sharks. Basically ignore that, pick up a human, send them into the ocean and give them to the shark to have a tasty little nibble, and you'll get that achievement Do Feed the Sharks. And yeah, it's pretty nice. Not so nice for the woman that threw into the water, but you know, achievement time, innit? And then the second achievement I got here was Hop the Hoop, which is to jump through the big donut. So the best way to get here is go to the radio station, land there with your UFO, and it's pretty close by, so just run over there or glide over there, whatever you got, and then yeah, just jetpack through the hoop, and then yeah, it's achievement time. It's pretty easy, not too bad. And then it was time to get our final achievement. Basically this one, all you had to do was set fire to an object and send it towards a human's head. So the best place to go for this is Turnip Seed Farm. Head over to the field, find a hay bale, shoot it with the electric gun, And then once that's set on fire, just pick that up and send it to a human's face. And then you'll get the achievement PyroKinesis, which is basically as I just described. That's how you get it. So yeah, that was our final achievement, giving us our 100% completion on Destroy All Humans, which was it was a pretty fun game. I had a good time. It took me back to my childhood a little bit, but it was nice to actually complete this game and see what was actually going on, because I never did the story when I was a kid. I just roamed around and threw cows around. So yeah, which I think a lot of us did, I'm not gonna lie. And just quickly before we finish up, one tip I want to throw out there that I didn't see too many people talking about, because I really struggled with the Rampage challenge to destroy the tanks. So I did look for a little bit of help to see if there was anything I was missing or if I was doing wrong, and no one spoke about using PK, or at least from what I could find, that no one actually mentioned about using PK to pick up the tanks and taking them with you. Now, I found this to be super useful because I could pick up a tank, start damaging another tank, drop this tank next to it, and then use the iron detonator to get 2 kills, giving me 2 bonus points. And obviously, if there's 2 tanks there already, I can add the 3rd, and so on and so forth. So that really did help with gaining a few more bonus points, because this definitely came in clutch when it came to my completion run, as I finished this challenge with only about a second to spare, if that. So yeah. I mean, you got to make the most of these points, right? And then on top of that, I found the Marines to be really annoying, because sometimes I was doing good and they would just overwhelm me and kill me. What I would recommend for that is to fully upgrade your brain extraction ability, because there's some upgrades in there where you can kind of get a chain extraction thing going on. So when one brain gets extracted, all the enemies around that person then starts getting their brains extracted. And then if you go one above that, you can also get a skill that hypnotizes enemies so they fight for you for a little bit. So then you start getting like a whole team on your side, which you know, they attack tanks, they attack each other. It just helps manage the crowd control kind of situation. So yeah, definitely useful. It makes it a bit easier to manage and focus on those tanks. But yeah, that's it for now. That's all the achievements on this one. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, hit the like button, helps out a whole bunch, and comment down below and tell me what you think of it. I'd love to hear it. And if you want to see more 100% completion videos, then hit the subscribe button, and yeah, we'll see you on the next one, hopefully. Alright, nice one. See you then.